Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is DVD Collector 1986. I'm here with a brand new collection update video, and I got quite a stack of movies here this month, so let's just get into it. Lots of Blu-rays and a few DVDs as well, but here we go. American Graffiti, which came out in 1973. Really enjoyed this movie, and I'm glad to have it in the collection. I love Blu-rays because of all the special features. There's there's several extras on here. The music of American Graffiti, because there's a lot of different popular songs from that time in this movie, and then there's also the making of American Graffiti and screen tests for all the different actors. I really enjoyed this movie. One thing I wanted to say about this movie real quick is it's supposed to take place, I believe, during 1962. But it's a great movie. I love it. But if you ask me, I wasn't alive then. I wasn't born yet. But I've seen enough movies from back in the day to say that even though this movie takes place in 1962, it feels more like it takes place in like the early to mid 1950s. Feels more like a 50s movie as far as the time period, the way the movie looks. But it's still a really good movie, although they say it takes place in 1962. Very young Harrison Ford is in this movie as well as a bunch of other actors. That's a really good one. Here's a Mike Judge film, Office Space. And you're going to see some Robert Redford movies here. 3 Days of the Condor, again with Robert Redford and Faye Dunaway. Jeremiah Johnson. This is another Robert Redford movie that's really good. Another Robert Redford movie, Barefoot in the Park. You can tell I'm trying to pick up a lot of like classic movies. Here's a movie that's over 80 years old, The Maltese Falcon with Humphrey Bogart. Black and white movie. Haven't seen that yet, but I heard it's really good. And now we're going to get into some shark movies. The Shallows, and it has the lenticular cover art, which is pretty cool. Here's another shark movie, The Reef. This one was really good as well. And wait, that's the second one. I'll show you this one first. 47 Meters Down. And 47 Meters Down Uncaged. I really enjoyed those movies. I'm not the biggest shark movie person. I've never considered Jaws a straight up like a horror film. I think of it more as a adventure film with a shark in it. And a lot of people say there's a lot of carnage in the original Jaws. However, there was a lot more carnage of a different kind in Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, big time. So I always thought if people say that Jaws is a horror film, then then the last Indiana Jones movie in the original trilogy, The Last Crusade, should also be considered a horror film because of some of the stuff that's in it. However, that's not saying that I don't like Jaws. I actually really enjoy it. I just consider it a adventure film with a shark in it. But I've been watching, these movies I just showed you. There's a few shark movies that I find really good, and a lot of them were first-time watches. So I'm starting to enjoy shark movies a lot more, and I really enjoyed those. Here's the original 12 Angry Men. This is a Criterion Blu-ray release. Really good courtroom drama, although it takes place after the court case when they're trying to come up with a verdict, the jurors. So it's more after that, but it's a really good movie. Speaking of courtroom dramas, here's a Paul Newman movie, The Verdict. Really enjoyed this movie as well. That's from the 1980s. So this is a kind of a sad movie, but it stars Jack Nicholson and Shirley MacLaine. Terms of Endearment. I thought this movie was really enjoyable. Again, sad movie. Kind of in the vein of like Steel Magnolias. Really sad movie, but very, very good movie. Here we got a creature feature. Tremors. I watched most of the Tremors movies. I think there's 7 of them, and I think I watched the first 4 or 5 of them. I don't much care for them after the 3rd movie. For me, my favorite is the first one, and really good creature feature. Ordinary People. This actually got Best Picture in 1980, and it's directed by Robert Redford. Here is a William Friedkin film called To Live and Die in L.A. From 1985, I believe, and a really well done, gritty action movie. Really brutal at times. Not the most brutal action movie I've ever seen, but considering that this came out in 1985, it was a very gritty action movie for its time. Very well done. And here's this is a Criterion edition, but this is not a Blu-ray. This is a DVD edition. There is it's got the same artwork. There is a Blu-ray version of this with the same artwork and everything. But I went ahead and got the DVD since I've never seen this before, and I watched it. I like it, so I'll probably upgrade this to the Blu-ray version of this, probably next month or sometime soon. And that's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. This stars Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro. This is actually a really cool edition. It actually comes out of this plastic slipcover, and all of the special features are written on the back, but it's on the back of the slipcover. This is a really cool edition, and I'm glad to have this in the collection. So I'll be putting that with my other Criterion movies. And speaking of Criterion, this is the regular DVD, but this movie does have a Criterion release. Haven't seen it yet. This is new to me. But if I end up liking this movie, which I probably will because it's from the 1980s, at some point, I do plan on upgrading this to the Criterion edition, but that is The Big Chill. Can't say anything about the movie because I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things. Here's another movie I got. This is from the 1980s, stars John Candy, called Summer Rental. Haven't seen it, but I've heard good things. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. Here's another movie from the 1980s. This came out in 1983, I believe. This is a movie called Class, which stars Rob Lowe, Jacqueline Bisset, Andrew McCarthy, and Cliff Robertson. That's also a new movie to me. Haven't seen it yet. Again, I'm trying to track down a bunch of 1980s movies, and this is one I heard about, and I heard good things about it, so I added it to the collection. And lastly, here's a movie from 1976, starring Robert Duvall and Faye Dunaway, and that's a movie called Network. I have seen this movie before. I thought it was really good, really well done. Definitely a movie that feels like a 1970s movie, and was very entertaining, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm happy to have this in the collection. Now, I do understand that there are 2 different Blu-ray versions of this movie available. I haven't decided which one I'm going to get eventually, but for now I got the DVD, and again, I really enjoyed this movie. So that will do it for this collection update. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and take care of yourselves, and I will see y'all in the next video.